Hey traders, happy Thursday. This is Ron Haight. Hope you guys had a fantastic day. As always, everything in this video is for educational purposes only. All right, let's kick off here with the SPY. The markets really didn't do a whole lot today. The SPY lost 9 whole cents. It still is having trouble getting over that 50-day. And you can see how, like I drew yesterday, there's this box. We got to get below 282.50 or basically above the recent highs, almost up to 295 at this stage, before it would be a breakout for the bulls. Then the target goes back up to the previous highs. And that 50-day institutional moving average in orange is playing right along with those highs right now. So it's acting as some extra, or creating confluence, some extra overhead resistance right now. If we take a look at the Qs, they were down a whopping 61 cents. They again tried to get over their 50-day, but at the end of the day, they finished back below it. And here's the Russell, which we haven't looked at. You know, its all-time highs are way back over here a year ago. We're still in this sideways chop. Continue to watch 145 for a breakdown. Otherwise, it's going to have to get back above 160 for a breakout. It's just in no man's land. Salesforce.com, CRM, is moving here after hours on earnings. As I do this video, it's about 5 after 6 p.m. Eastern. You can see it closed at 148. We're up around almost 158, so about a $10 pop here. That's going to put us right up near these previous highs. However, there's almost a triple top up here too. So even though it's up here at 160, hey, that's good if you're a bull, but it needs to really get back above here. And if I bring in a 2-year chart of CRM, and then I go and bring in all the data on CRM, you're going to see we're at all-time highs, recently at all-time highs. So what we need to do is get back above, let's see, what is that, call it 167, for this truly to re-energize the bullish trend. Now, GameStop was up today. You might say, why are we talking about a $3 stock? Well, it was up almost 10% today. And this is reportedly on news that Michael Burry believes there's huge upside or significant upside in the stock. And Burry spelled B-U-R-R-Y. He was basically warning everybody, hey, and profited from the huge mortgage crisis. You know, he saw it coming, etc. They even did a movie. You know, if you Google him, you'll read about him. But nonetheless, when someone like that speaks out about the stock, you can see the big spike. It did come off the highs. At one point, you can see here the intraday high was over $4. It was 4.25. Now, if I wanted to try and play this bullish, here are some of the things that I might consider doing. First off, the 20-day EMA would be my end-of-day trailing stop right now. The immediate target would be the 50-day at 450. Now, if you're talking about a $3.87 stock going to 450, that still is a significant move. Because you could move the decimal point and say, hey, $38 stock going to 45, right? That's a big move, so 15% or so. But if we get over the 50-day, then we come up here to where we went sideways around 575. Then the gap fill becomes the target. So something just to play around with, of course, always in a virtual trading account. And then last night I talked about Nordstrom's. The stock ended up going up 15+% today. Big volume. This is how reversals begin. Now, there's no way to know if the stock's going to keep going higher, but I told you guys I want to keep an eye on these retail stocks, especially as we get into the Q4 holiday season. This kind of volume is usually bottom-like forming when it's just towering over everything else. We did close above the 50-day. That's one thing I would want to see as a bull. It happened. The immediate target now, the previous closing high from the end of July was around $33. Sort of ties in with another little swing high here. We take out that high, then the gap fill up towards 37.50 becomes the target. Well, that's interesting. So at 30.75, the next target's 33 something, 10% higher. We get above there, it's another 10% higher up into this target. I would also use the 20-day EMA as an end-of-day trailing stop if I wanted to consider being bullish on Nordstrom's. And Abercrombie, they were almost 2.5%. Here's a bottom. It almost retested it here in June again, and then back here in August just a couple days ago. It retested. This now is a line in the sand on Abercrombie. We get below 15, really bad news. But we're seeing a little bit of a move up here. The one thing it's lacking is good volume, but I love finding almost what's beginning of a W-type pattern, because if the lows fail to hold, even going back into November, bad news, right? Already said that. But we get above 19, then you take out 20, then the target's way up there, 20% higher. And when you see these types of patterns form, a lot of times when you get over that middle hump in this pattern, which is that 1920 area, there can be a potential explosion in price, because now all this consolidation is gone and this is just free range, it's free territory. There's nothing stopping it. There's There's no overhead supply at this point till we get all the way back up to 24. So I'll keep watching Abercrombie. And then a quick check-in on two stocks, Amazon and Netflix. We haven't talked about a whole lot because there's not much to talk about. July we came down, we're bouncing. This is still a bear flag on Amazon. From 2,000 down to 1,750. That's the flagpole. This is the flag. It almost looks like the letter L a little bit. It's like a ledge, almost like a chair. We get below 1,750, we come to 17, and then the next support level is at 16. So Amazon is still bearish. For it to turn bullish, at the very least, we got to get above the red line. That's short-term bullish to the 50-day, and then finally above the 50-day in orange at 1,900. We close above there, then we can go back up into this area. And Netflix, earnings gap down, and now it's still drifting lower. We're in no man's land. This is also free range territory to the downside. Maybe 260, 240, 230 are the targets. This is still firmly bearish. The first sign that Netflix might be turning around is if it gets above the 20-day EMA in red, and that will put the bears on notice that this sort of easy downtrend is over, and then you would go back up to the 50-day, which is going to coincide with this little attempt at a rally here, and then back up to a gap fill. All right, folks, that is it. Wish you guys all the best. I'll be back with you in the Sunday video this weekend. Take good care.